So the Daily Mail is, Charles Murray did not come. The KKK declined to show up on our program today, right? Yeah, okay. We invited the Imperial Wizard of the KKK. Since they're going down to Ferguson, we thought, well, hey, let's see what they have to say. They said, no, we're not going to go on your program. What can you do? But I'm trying to track down this story that is being reported as if it was fact by apparently one reporter, Christine Byers, tweeted, quote, police sources tell me more than a dozen witnesses have corroborated cops' version of events and shooting. Now, here's the problem. I don't think we know the cops' version. That said, a woman named Josie called into a radio show and said that she's the best friend of the girlfriend of Officer Wilson, and that the story is that Michael Brown was rushing at Officer Wilson when he got shot 6 times. But Officer Wilson was doing this to defend himself. This is, it's the headline over on Glenn Beck's website. It's over at the top of Drudge. The right-wing media is running with this thing, and they're running hard with it. And they even got a shout-out on CNN, from what I can tell. You know, all I can see is the screen. I'm not listening to it, but I can see the chyrons, the words on the bottom of the screen. And they were saying this. So we've got an unverified call to a radio show, and we've got a reporter saying that the police say that the police didn't do anything wrong. I'm serious. These are our two sources. A caller to a radio show who we have no idea who the person is, other than what she asserts. And she doesn't, she gives her first name as Josie, and that's it. So you got a caller to a radio show, and you've got a reporter who talked to the police department who tweets out that the police department says that they agree with themselves. And this is, I'm telling you, this is going to be the new narrative. For a day it was he robbed a convenience store. Now it's going to be he charged the police officer. Even if that's true. Oh, and he was high on pot when he did it. Of course, that's why. I mean, go back and watch those Reefer Madness movies from the 19-teens and the 1920s. Those black people, those black men, man, they get high and they just can't stop from raping white women. He probably mistook that police officer for... Anyway. I mean, this is the level of dialogue and discourse that seems to be going on. But consider for a moment, even if all of that is the case, even if Michael Brown was just, genuinely not the kind of person that you'd want to have as a friend, that he was a bully, that he stole things from stores and try to beat up a cop, that does not in any way diminish the fact that people of color in this country have a legitimate grievance against the power structures of this country that is historic and that is real to this day. And that the Michael Brown killing has become essentially a symbol of a much larger issue. That over and over and over again, you see where things are put in a place that could help. Well, as I said in the last hour, the GI Bill is the best example. It's supposed to help all GIs, except that, now this was back when the racist Democrats in the South controlled the House and the Senate. And the racists in the South made sure that the GI Bill was administered locally. Why? There were a lot of black veterans in World War II. And they wanted to make sure that the benefits of the GI Bill went to white people, not black people. It's really, really simple. In the state of Mississippi in the year 1947, there were 3,229 GI Bill loans to buy homes or farms or businesses. 3,229 in just that 1 year. 2 of them went to black people. So we have this long history in this country. And in the midst of this, we have a Supreme Court now which is saying, in response to, for example, the Voting Rights Act or preferential admission by colleges as an attempt to mitigate these centuries, I was going to say years, decades, but it's centuries of oppression of one group by another. You have the Supreme Court saying, oh, we're in a post-racial world. Really? This is, or has the potential to be, a come-to-Jesus moment for this country. For us to look at ourselves and the people around us and have a conversation about what's going on in this country. To inform, in particular, white people about what white privilege means. About not every morning waking up and thinking about your race and how it's going to impact, how consequentially it's going to impact the course of your day and the course of your life. How white people never even think, did I not get a seat in that restaurant because of the color of my skin? Did I not get that job because of the color of my skin? Did I not get into that school because of the color of my skin? And when there's the rare instance where a white person does think that, as in the University of Michigan affirmative action case, where, a white guy sued, took it all the way to the Supreme Court and said, hey, I was not admitted because the college let in some black guy. Well, the college also let in legacy admissions, children of alumni who were probably all white. But that wasn't what he was objecting to. He was objecting to a black person got my seat. The college was also letting in smarter people. He wasn't objecting to that. A smarter person got his seat. No, he wasn't objecting to that. College was also letting in some athletes who were, not being, brought into the college because of either their wealth or their academic credentials, but because the sports team for the university makes the university a lot of money. He wasn't objecting to that. What he was objecting to was the fact that a black person might have gotten that. This is like one white guy having a, oh my God, I don't have white privilege moment. That's what's going on. And it just echoes through the system. It goes crazy. So what do we do about this? Well, I would point out to you that there are two big issues that we can't address head on. One is how the white power structure, and including the media to some extent, has engaged in a divide and conquer strategy for centuries, cleaving black people from white people. And the second is poverty. When you're discriminated against, you're more likely to end up in poverty. And the Paul Ryans of the world are trying to make poverty a crime in and of itself, essentially. Punish people for their poverty. Down in Florida, you want food stamps? You got to pee in the cup. You got to take a drug test. Yes, we know, white middle-class teenagers are far more likely to use drugs but still, got to pee in the cup.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So we could stop criminalizing poverty. In fact, we could stop poverty in the United States. With the cost of the Iraq War, we could end poverty. Why don't we do that?